A defeat is never good, David, but were you happy with the performance, and how do you and the team go about bouncing back from a defeat?
I think it's just take one game at a time. That's what we always speak about, and I know that's probably the cliche answer that nobody wants to hear, but that's how we work. Take one game at a time, move on to the next game, and that's how we've got to approach it. Performance, there was lots of parts of the game that I was happy with, but ultimately we lose the game, so you're not happy with that. It was one moment in the game, really. One moment, I think they had 2-3 chances, half chances in the first half. They score for one, and then we something like 13-14 chances. Keeper makes a couple of good saves, and I think there's times in the season that's probably been the only one where we've come out in the wrong end of the result in terms of we've not picked any points up, but for the large parts of it, the performance was there. So just take one game at a time. If we can go and replicate the performance against United against Raith Rovers, I'll probably be more than happy.
Was there any knocks for the game? Was there any updates from any long-term injuries?
No, I think we were fairly clean coming out the back end of the game. Still got a couple of boys that are chasing their fitness, like Danny Wilson, people like that, still chasing their fitness. Jamie Brandon's obviously, he comes out through suspension. Jamie's got his 6th yellow, so he'll miss the Raith Rovers game. Fairly clean. But to be fair, it's maybe, I wouldn't have took Jamie out of the team, but it's maybe a bit of a welcome break for Jamie, because he's been nursing a bit of swelling in his knee for the past 2-3 months, so it maybe gives him an extra week to try and deal with that swelling, try and lighten the loads on his knee, which might help him long term, might help us long term.
I think with Jamie being out the team, I think that's what happened with Stephen Kelly. He had an injury and then Reece came in, so does that...
Yeah, that's probably Jamie's slightly different in the respect. I think there's, like, you look at Reece, Stephen and Pitts, 2 for 3 you're looking for, like, either of the 3 could do the other 2's job, if that makes sense, whereas Jamie's a wee bit unique in terms of Jamie's skill set and what Jamie brings to the team. There's kind of, we'll ask one of these lads, we'll kind of work it out how we're going to replace Jamie, but Jamie's an out and out 6 for me, whereas Stephen and Reece and Pitts, they can all play an 8, they can all play a 10, can play a bit of a 6, but Jamie's an out and out 6, so his coming out the team's a wee bit unique in terms of, I think he's got a certain skill set that the team require. Jamie, there's no many players in the team, if I'm thinking about it right now, that probably good chance of getting their place back in the squad, but Jamie's definitely one of them. Stephen came out through injury, but as I just kind of alluded to there, Stephen, Reece and Pitts are all, no, I'm not going to say similar or no similar, but they can all do similar positions on the park, but Jamie's probably just your out and out 6.
There's always something different when it comes to facing teams without managers. Does that make it any less or more difficult?
That's what it was up there, wasn't it? The first cup they game there, it was Potsy. I don't know. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes. Now, obviously, Neil's left through choice getting another job, so there's no been as much adversity. Sometimes when a manager leaves, the players get a wee bump because they've been in a bit of negative momentum, but you could argue that's not really been the case with Neil Collins and Raith, so who knows. But again, I've been in football long enough, you focus on what you can control and focus on Livingston, and that's kind of how we've approached this season. Far too many times the seasons before, you're looking at every tiny minute detail of the opposition, but I think it's been one of the positives of this season. One of the refreshing parts of coaching this season has just been focusing on Livingston, so I don't really look too much into Raith Rovers, new manager, what shape they're going to be, who they're going to play. I just kind of look at Livingston and how we're going to approach the game and how we can try and pick 3 points up.
Obviously it's a bit of a period between Christmas and New Year. Have you had a chance to reflect over the season so far, or has it just been focused on Raith on Saturday?
I think that kind of reflects Saturday, Sunday, sometimes a Monday coming into work, so you reflect on the performance and you kind of move on. So it's probably something, again, going back to managing game by game, that then turns that into me managing week by week. So you kind of reflect and move on. I don't think you've got enough time in football to sit down during the season and look at really a true reflection on it. So as a group, we kind of know where we are. We're probably, if somebody had said at the start of the season, look, we'll give you 2 points per game, would have probably took that, but we're a wee bit disappointed in terms of the points allocation in the last 9 games. I think we are. We picked up 19 the first batch of 9. We're on 17 this batch, so we need to go and try and be in around 19, 20 points to make sure we're up there or thereabouts come the end of the season.